and welcome to another episode of Let's Inspire Together. Today we have a taste of Caribbean Christmas, and it's going to be a lovely episode grounded in a lot of culture and in a discussion about preservation of some of our Latin American and indigenous influences. Our first music video for today is going to be an instrumental. It's entitled A Taste, and it's a display of some mandolin skills by a past teacher of mine, Miss Suzette Smith. So enjoy A Taste by Miss Suzette Smith. Video number 2 is by Saint Steel Ensemble. It's two songs, Backyard and Come Go, two of our most popular parang songs in Trinidad. Enjoy. we have Voces Jóvenes singing their theme song. Today, I am so excited to have one of my mentors as the interviewee today. The great parang composer, yes, I say great, she's already saying, I would say the greatest parang composer that I know, Mrs. Jennifer McPherson, the person who composed Anda Parandero, Bango de Paranda, and all sorts of wonderful sounds that we hear. We can't go into a grocery, we can't go into a taxi, we can't go anywhere without hearing her beautiful voice. And the beauty that we hear in her music, believe me, it is her personality. She's a wonderful person. She was a teacher, a career teacher, a Spanish teacher at Northeastern College, and she affected the lives of many young people. She has a lot of children, self-proclaimed children. I don't know if she claims us too much, but we claim her.
I claim all.
But we claim her. I want to welcome Mrs. Jennifer McPherson, and I wanted to give her a little introduction of herself.
Muchísimas gracias. Mi hijita, yo la considero como mi propia hija. Era estudiante mía, era estudiante muy buena. Y yo te amo mucho, mucho. Bueno, como ella ya ha dicho, yo soy Jennifer McPherson. Yo trabajaba como profesora de español en 3 escuelas secundarias. Y ahora yo me encuentro alegremente jubilada, alegremente, happily retired, después de trabajar más de 30 años. Bueno, soy cantante de parranda, soy compositora de la música de parranda. Yo compongo la letra, tanto la letra como la música. Bueno, y Como cantante, me encuentro muy difícil porque yo soy muy tímida, muy tímida. y tener que cantar ante una muchedumbre es algo que no me gusta, pero algo que he aceptado ahora.
Thank you very much. Now, to be honest, yes, I could understand some of what you said. But just like any person who is from the Anglo Caribbean, we have lost a lot of our Spanish language and Spanish influences. Yes, we are trying to get it back slowly but surely, and we depend on people like Mrs. McPherson to get us back there, but it's a difficult and a long road. But in terms of preservation, not only do we depend on Spanish teachers, but we depend on our music.
Yes.
And Parang is one of the main ways that we have preserved our indigenous and Spanish or Latin American rather influences. And so that is why your role has been so important in not just preserving the culture, but preserving our history. Right, and that's why we just need to acknowledge how great and how wonderful your contribution is. I mean, I'm like the gushing fangirl right now, but that's okay because I have had the privilege of observing you. I sang for a little while with the band, and I got some training in terms of her seeing her teach some of her songs, and her process is truly amazing. And what I wanted to talk about now is how, what inspires her to really write her music, because as she was telling me a little while ago, she never did any formal music training. Yet she could tell the quattro man what to play, tell the bass man what to play, tell the band man what to play. She could tell the mandolinist what, I'm hearing this and I'm hearing that. Mind you, she doesn't play any instruments. So I wanted to tell us a little bit about her process, the things that inspire her to get the amazing lyrics that she really comes up with all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to go in a little bit about how I managed to start composing Parang. Yes. Somehow, I don't know, some things happen that you just can't explain. At one time, I don't know, I just started to feel the urge to write a poem in Spanish. For whatever reason. I am not too much into poetry, even in English, but somehow, So I decided, well, let me just write this little thing in Spanish. And when I eventually got in contact with somebody who was a member of the band Los Tocadores, the band that I sing with now and I compose for, she said to me, why don't you put your song, your poem to music to your poem, because that's what a song is. And I did that, and so that was just the first touch of doing something like that. And I said, hey, but
how did it make you feel? How did you feel about it?
Very, well accomplished, because this is my first whole composition. But it was such an intricate kind of kind of piece of music. I don't think the band even got to hear it or anything like that. But let me go back even to school days when I went to school at Bishop Anstey High School, Port of Spain. And I must have been one of the few students in the classroom who would enjoy listening to classical music. At one time we used to have these classical music sessions. And Joyce Spence, Mrs. Joyce Spence, the late Joyce Spence, she was my music teacher at that time. And she asked us as one of our assignments to just compose a few bars of music. And I did that, and she played it on the piano, and I said, wow, this is something I actually composed, because she played it, I composed it, right? And it sounded so nice. So that was my actual first experience of composing something, almost by ear kind of a thing.
Yes.
And but then came the Parang, the music to the poetry, poem.
Yes.
And then Los Tocadores with the Sereno. So we started to sing the sereno. They are singing it. This is a house parang piece that they would do. And I'm saying, but I can't understand these lyrics. You're singing in Spanish. So I said, listen, let me fix this. So I set off to fix that and realized that having to fix it now meant rearranging even the way the melody was running.
So you had to get
So
your
I had
own
to put
melody.
in, right.
Oh, right.
So when it was time to sing now, it would be like the men would sing some verses and I would come in with something. When it was time, we were so confused because my melody was different. They couldn't fit into my melody.
Yes.
So when it was time to record it, they say, you sing it.
Yes, and that was a good call, because there was another time we had to do a performance with it was in the same bishops, and they had a concert and they asked to do Los Gentes del Caribe. That is one of the most complicated, complex songs that you could find, but the lyrics is so well put together, and the structure of it.
And it's not a parang song.
That's
And
not a
that
parang?
is I think that is one of the limitations now of having your music that will encompass different themes on a parang CD, so that it will just come up during Christmas time and then it's lost. So
Right.
Gente del Caribe is not a Christmas song, but we'll hear it only at Christmas time.
Yes,
Right?
that is it. That is it. That is indeed a limitation. And one of the things that we really want to get across is the importance of understanding the history of the music and the influences of the music, and realize that it's not limited to Christmas time. I remember doing there is an album, the last album that was done, Del Corazon, and there were so many beautiful pieces in that album. I can't get over it.
Well, come on, I just want to say thank you to the band Los Tocadores, because as you mentioned, it is not easy. I would go with melody in my head. I don't have any chords to tell them this, that, the other, play this. But, so I would sing a melody, and Peter Estrada, who is the leader of the band, he is the one who would put the chords to what he's hearing, and I would know what the chords are in my head.
Yes.
And I would be able to
he
tell him,
builds it, he makes
no,
it the reality.
this is not it. So I could hear it, and I know what I want to hear.
And that is
And
amazing.
sometimes more than one chord could fit into what I'm singing, but then I know what I want to hear. And then they would tell people, she miserable with her music. And
I remember that, yes.
it's not being miserable, just that this is what I hear, that's what I want to hear reproduced.
Yes.
And I realize not many people have that skill of just taking that melody, because this is in my head, and then from somebody's mouth, and then putting the chords to it.
And with that, that statement, I think that is a very important thing for all of us to really take into consideration. If you do have a talent and you decide to share it in a positive way, because we could have a talent and we could decide to go a different path.
That's right.
But this is one of my role models. She is one of my role models, and a role model to many, just because of the fact that she chose to always be that light and that positivity, and to display all of those great features of a real mother to everyone who she meets. And I just want to thank you again so much
Thank you
for being
very
a part
much
of this.
Yeah, thank you too.
Our next music video is courtesy of WAC Radio 90.1 FM, and it's a live performance by Los Tocadores entitled Vamos de Paranda, or Vamos de Paranda.
Vamos de parranda, mamá, vamos de parranda. Otros panes se oye música, cariño. Vamos de parranda, mamá, vamos de parranda. Otros panes se oye música, cariño. Vamos de parranda. No puedo ir contigo, papá, no puedo ir contigo. Que hay mucho trabajo adentro que hacer, no puedo ir contigo. No oye música, cariño, vamos de parranda. Todavía las hallacas, servir y cortina te colgas. No olvides el jamón y el pan, mi amor, por si crema que mezclar. Todavía las hallacas, servir y cortina te colgas. No olvides el jamón y el pan, mi amor, por si crema que mezclar. Vamos de parranda, mamá, vamos de parranda. Por todas partes se oye música, cariño, vamos de parranda. Vamos de parranda, mamá, vamos de parranda. Por todas partes se oye música, cariño, vamos de parranda. ¡Arriba! Deja de los chiquititos, papi, que hay de los chiquititos. Son tan pequeños y barco, nosotros papá ya deja solo en casa. Deja de los chiquititos, papi, que hay de los chiquititos. Son tan pequeños y barco, nosotros papá ya deja solo en casa. Vamos de parranda, mamá, vamos de parranda. Por todas partes se oye música, cariño, vamos de parranda. Vamos de parranda, mamá, vamos de parranda. Por todas partes se oye música, cariño, vamos de parranda. Que vengan los parranderos aquí, que vengan los parranderos. Yo no puedo de esta casita salir, que vengan los parranderos. Que vengan los parranderos aquí, que vengan los parranderos. Yo no puedo de esta casita salir, que vengan los parranderos. Vamos de parranda, mamá, vamos de parranda. Por todas partes se oye música, cariño, vamos de parranda. Vamos de parranda, mamá, vamos de parranda. Por todas partes se oye música, cariño, vamos de parranda. ¡Arriba! Yo sé todo, puedo bailar contigo, cantar contigo, por mucho que me gusta, no puedo bailar contigo, no puedo cantar contigo, no puedo bailar contigo. Vamos, mi morenita, vamos, vamos, querida mía, vamos, vamos, mi amorcita, vamos, 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 mi morenita, vamos, vamos, querida mía, vamos, vamos, mi amorcita, vamos, vamos. Yo siento no puedo bailar contigo, cantar contigo, bailar contigo. Yo siento no puedo bailar contigo, cantar contigo, bailar contigo. Vamos, mi morenita, vamos, vamos, querida mía, vamos, vamos, mi amorcita, vamos, 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 mi morenita, vamos, vamos, querida mía, vamos, vamos, mi amorcita, vamos, vamos. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Thank you for joining us on Let's Inspire Together. I hope it was the wonderful cultural experience that I wanted it to be. Enjoy your Christmas, enjoy the season. God bless and take care. Bye.